Now, this is the fly I'm going to be tying. It's just an olive quill, but it's a wet fly. Now, it's a fly that could easily be fished in the lochs as much as the river. This one, I would probably fish mainly in 12s and 14s, though you could go smaller if you want. 14 is a good size, 12 is good, especially in the lochs. It's a 12 I'm going to be tying. Now, it's a simple fly to tie. Hook I'm using, this is a full mill. It's an all-purpose medium wired hook. It's as I say, it's size 12. Thread is the dark brown I'm using. Uni thread in 8/0. Now I'm just going to slide out some of the thread, run the wax through. Just the once is enough. And then I'm going to start just short of the eye, so a head length away, and then work our way down. The way down, I'm going to remove the waist, and then wind until I'm in line with the barb of the hook, which is there. Now the cape I'm using is this one here. It's an Indian hen neck. It was basically a light ginger, as you can see there. It's light ginger, which I've dyed olive. Gives you a nice browny olive, which is really nice. I mean, there's the lighter coloured fibres at the top. You can see they're olive, but this browny olive is what I'm going to be using for the tail and for the hackle itself. So I've got one of the larger feathers here. So all I'm going to do is line up the ends, fibres, tear them away. Looking shank length for the tail. Do a couple of turns, and these 2 turns are onto the bare hook and winding slightly down. And then what I'm going to do is trim the fibres the length of the body to the point where I'm going to be tying in the hackle, which will be there. The body itself is a Peacock quill. I've dyed this. This is olive. I've still a wee bit of fibre. I've bleached it back. We can bleached it, so I've got a nice light olive, but I've still got a wee bit of Herl in there. I'll show you. All you have to do is remove it with your nail. It's really simple. Just run your nail through it, and that's it. Now I want to start the taper off at the back. So there's the taper part of the quill. And we trim away what I don't need. Catch this in. Now for this size you need as much as the quill as you can get. So I'm going to wind up. Try and keep this as smooth as possible. You need a nice underbody for the quill to lay on. Let's see, work your way up. Just take your time, you're doing it. That's where your hackle's going to be tied in. Now I'm going to wind over some super glue. This is a full mill super glue. It comes with the brush. Now after doing this body, you could varnish it if you want, but the super glue does hold really well. Now you want these close touching turns with the quill. Work your way up. Don't worry if you make a small space. The brown thread doesn't do any harm coming through. Just take your time. When you wind up, get to this last turn. You don't have much left. Catch it in. And then trim this away. Remember when you're winding this on, it's the glue that's holding it for you, and as you see, it makes a nice body. So it does. The quill always makes for a great body, and as I say, what you could probably do is do a wee half hitch, tie it off, and then varnish this, and then come back and put on your hackle and your wing. But as I say, it's up to yourself. The super glue does hold. I wouldn't be using it otherwise. Now, I need a small hackle from the hen neck. You tie this in by the tip. Sometimes easier to get the tip of these hackles using the hackle pliers. So I've got a very small light pair of hackle pliers. I've used them for years. Okay, there's the tip there. A wee bit of wax on your thread. Catch this on. Couple of turns, fold it back, come back up. Slip your fingers back, and there's the tip of the hackle. And then we can trim that away. Now what we want to do is make sure there's wax on your thread, come back up a wee bit, leave room the length of the hackle. Now depending how good the hackles are and So how thick the fibres are depends on the number of turns. It's up to yourself. Now I'm going to put at least around about 3 turns, 2 to 3 turns anyway on this fly. Just take your time, stroking the fibres back. You could use your hackle pliers if you want. Sometimes with these wee fine hackles, using your fingers you get a better feel for the hackle. Now I'm going to catch this in 2 or 3 turns down. Because the stems are so thin on these, I can then fold it back, bring it up, put a nice base of thread down, and break that away. And there's your hackle there. Now that's this like a spider, if you would class it as a spider pattern. Now all we have to do is put the wing on. Now the wing I'm using the primary feathers from a teal duck. Now the teal duck, you'll see this green is this is the secondary feathers, which much like you would get blue if it was a mallard. Now I like these on wet flies. Now you need a right and a left side, so you need a pair of wings. So quite simple to use your dubbing needle, look at the length that you want, just check how thick the wing you want. That's too thick for me. I'm just going to come in a wee bit, take 2 or 3 fibres off. Check the length again, you can see there, that's the wing. You can either trim them away, or what I'm going to do is take it off. And then get the other side, do the same again from my side. Just check. In this case I don't have enough, so what I do is just bring it back together. And then take the wing you need. Check it again. You can always check. Again, if it's a wee bit too much, single fibre, just use a dubbing needle to separate the fibres. Just make sure to do that right. There we are. And when you're happy, then you can tear it away. If you don't like tearing it away, then just, as I say, cut it. Some people don't like doing that. And sometimes the fibres or the wing that you're using don't like you doing it either, so best to trim it away. Just going to line up the ends, make sure they're square. I'm just going to show it. Now you're seeing the underside of the wing, just making sure they're lined up. There's the underside. I mean, so that you want it to curve in. If it was a dry fly, you want them to curve away, but obviously this is a wet. So we come in and get the length. Now they want the wing to the back of the hook. Just fold it down either side. Just check it's sitting right first before we do anything. Check the length. Just always take your time at this point. Pinch and loop, 2 or 3 turns. If it's not sitting the way you like, now that side's fine, my side's not, so it's quite simple to go back. Just go back, lift it back up, pinch and loop, it will come back. That's one of the reasons why I like to tear it off, because these fine fibres at the end hold it. Just checking the length, checking the tips, because you can, as I say, there's nothing to stop you going back at this point. Looks okay. Again, what I'm going to do is just a wee bit of wax on my thread. Make sure that the dead turns don't come loose, so when you're trimming you can get no issues with the wing moving. You need a nice sharp pair of scissors. Come to the eye, and I like to work from the eye up. Taking the thread turns into those cut ends, and then come straight in and wet finish. And then let's go back, just square this up. Just down a wee bit of fibre there, so I'm taking it away. There we go. Just making sure it's tight, then we can come in and trim away the thread. Now there's your fly, that's your fly. I'm just going to moisten my fingers to drop back at these fibres. okay. Nice enough shape. Nice wing. Once you cast that, it'll be much better looking. As a fly, it'll sort of slightly open up a wee bit better. But other than that, the shape's nice. So what we do is come in, we put a wee bit of, in this case this is for speed, super glue, just gonna touch the head, all the way around. Then we finish off with a coat of varnish, a fine coat of varnish. Now that's the olive quill was a wet fly, so I hope you enjoy that.